Hi, welcome back to GP Reactions. Welcome to all new subscribers. I hope you're good. And welcome to the year of 1982. This was, of course, the year of E.T. and Rambo and The Young Ones, amongst other stuff. And I'm going to do like a whole bunch of tracks from the summer of 82, spread over a couple of weeks. And the first track I'm going to be revisiting is the Stranglers with Strange Little Girl. And this was released in around about the 24th of July, and it was released as a single. I don't recall it actually being on any album. However, it was released on a collection of their tracks, I think 79 to 82 or 3. But that probably wouldn't have come out till a few years later. So, and I kind of get the feeling that they were maybe like leaving a record company at the time, or something was going on that they didn't pop this onto an album. So anyway, so this is the Stranglers with Strange Little Girl, and this is a Top of the Pops performance. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into this, see what this song is about.
One day, see a strange little girl look at you. One day, see a strange little girl feeling blue. She'd run to the town one day, leaving home and her country fair. Just beware when you're there, strange little girl. She didn't know how to live in a town that was rough. It didn't take long before she knew she'd had enough. Walking home in her wrapped-up world, she survived, but she's feeling old, 'cause she found all things cold. Sweet little girl, where
Sorry to pause it there. I'm actually really loving the set on this Top of the Pop set. It's not too kind of colourful. I don't think the Stranglers would have enjoyed a gaudy, garish, colourful set on Top of the Pops. And I'm not sure they would have enjoyed the audience, but sadly this was the only studio recording I could actually find. I did look for the video. I'm pretty sure there's a video of this. Interesting lyrics so far. I'm getting a kind of feeling about this is about a girl, maybe somebody he's known, who has come from a different social, like a different social group. Maybe there's a class thing going on. Maybe it's the first time of visiting and living in a large city. But I do get the impression that she's come from a very comfortable life to live in a very urban environment, and it's kind of like feeling a little bit too gritty for her. So, yeah.
are you going? Strange little girl, where are you going? Do you know where you could be going?
I'm not sure I approve of the arm waving in the audience.
Walking home in her wrapped-up world, she survived, but she's feeling old, 'cause she found all things cold.
Wow.
Strange little girl, where are you going? Strange little girl, where are you going?
Okay, well, that was the Stranglers with Strange Little Girl, and it's an extremely short track. I've kind of forgotten how short that track actually was. It's really interesting lyrics. I mean, clearly it's about a girl who maybe comes from a certain class, a society, like a social class perhaps, and has a romantic idea of what city life is like. But city life can be kind of brutal, and I think if you've just got this rose-tinted idea of how life is going to be like, it can come as quite as a shock. She didn't know how to live in a town that was rough. It didn't take long before she knew she had enough. Walking home in a wrapped-up world, she survived, but she's feeling old, and she found all things cold. That's really kind of interesting, because I think if we dip into a social scene that's perhaps very alien to us and maybe not what we thought it might be like, if we find ourselves kind of trapped in that kind of scene, and it might be through a partner, perhaps it's through a partner who's taken you somewhere and you spend a whole night feeling uncomfortable, and it's not an uncomfortable as in you'll get used to it. I think it's such a shock to your system that you're trying something and you never really want to maybe revisit that experience. And maybe he's singing about somebody he actually knew, because maybe she is a strange little girl. Obviously that's what the song is called. But maybe he sees her as strange because I think maybe she's dressing to fit in with the scene, but perhaps her appearance is incongruous with her personality, with her background, and we can't kind of help our nature of who we are. Perhaps she's running away from something to be in this new scene, and that's why she kind of feels like it's trapping her. And sometimes when you do immerse yourself in these experiences maybe it's against her will, maybe he wanted her to come away from her world and be part of this scene, or maybe she dipped her toe in the water of this scene and he noticed her, and the next thing she knows she's moving to this area, to this town, this city, and she's finding there's too much going on that she doesn't feel comfortable, and it weighs you down so much. I remember even as a teenager, if I was to go somewhere that I felt really uncomfortable, it would actually feel exhausting. Like at age about 10 years, I'm sort of thinking now that maybe this is a member of a band who's perhaps had a relationship like this. I'm not really kind of sure. The song itself, I mean, it's beautiful and it's haunting. It feels reflective. Almost like a sadness that, the inevitable situation of this girl rejecting this new scene, and that perhaps the narrator's the person who's drawn her to this scene has invested his time in getting to know her. He just basically essentially invested his time in being with her, and maybe he's had to make sacrifices to be with her. So that is kind of reflected in like a sadness and a regret. But it is a beautiful sound, and it feels very different. It feels so different to me from the other Stranglers tracks that I've heard, that I know of, that it almost feels like it's very, very personal. So I think that's essentially how I'm reading this song. I don't know. I'd love to know what you guys think, because it was one of those strange songs of that year that really stood aside from everything else. And I do feel sorry for them because clearly they've agreed to appear on Top of the Pops to promote it, but they don't look entirely comfortable with the arm waving audience. So, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Join me in the comments below. And till next time, take care of yourselves.